Hello and welcome back to another video here on the channel. In today's video we are back here playing City Skylines for episode 3 here in Los Palma. In today's episode we are going to be focusing more on public transport and bringing people into our city because I have just unlocked the airport. Now I want to show you what I've done off camera, and if we take a look round, we are on the southern side of the city down here, and if we take a look, what I've done is I've actually added this secondary junction up at the top up here. Now the reason for that is the junction up here was getting so incredibly clogged up. I've actually had to add so many different roads in, so many different junctions, and I believe, yeah, we need to do a little bit of work in there because that is clearly backing up a bit too much. They shouldn't be doing that lane switching on there. We'll have to make sure to tweak that one up just a little bit. So yeah, there's still more work to do up on this junction, but as you can see, that's relieved so much of the flow. I mean, it's still very busy down on this main road, but to be honest, that is all we can expect. I have added these small cut-through roads in and things like that to hopefully relieve some of the stress. But we're going to be focusing on public transport just that little bit more to hopefully reduce the traffic in the city. So what I'd like to do is up here somewhere, I would like to have our airport, so we're going to jump out of that view there, and let's head to the transport mode. We're going to head to airport, and as you'll see just there, we have the airport. So taking a look at the airport just like this, it, to be fair, isn't too big, but alongside this we're going to have basically a big transport hub. I'd also like a train station. I want to focus on putting train lines in today's video, and yeah, some other bits and pieces, because currently the only train lines we've got is, yeah, we've only really done cargo train terminals and sort of a ship cargo terminal down there. So yeah, we definitely need to put some train terminals in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start things off is we want obviously a good highway connection for this, and I'd say this area here is a very good spot for this indeed. So what we're going to do is we are going to, I'd say, let's jump out of this view here and work out where we want to put this. So we're going to start off and we're going to have to come into some kind of roundabout, aren't we? So let's get some sort of main roads. I'd say let's get some 3-lane roads. We're going to break that just for the time being, and we'll use the ones with trees in because that looks just that little bit nicer, doesn't it? There we go. So we're going to bring this down probably about that much there, I'm going to say, and let's use the net picker tool we've got down here, and we're going to use that motorway, and we are just going to link those up just like that. Let's turn on the anarchy mod just like that. There we go. They haven't linked up properly. Let's give that one more go. Okay, and there we go. As you'll see, they have now lined up perfectly. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the move it mod, and we're just going to bring those back. Yeah, there we go, just to make sure we get those lane arrows popping in, and just to stop people doing weird bits and pieces here, we're just going to make sure all of these go straight on up there. We don't want you turning down into the new lanes. There we go, and they will automatically go down there anyway. We'll let them pick their own lanes. Brilliant, so that's that part done. Now I'd say what we're going to want is at the end of this roundabout here, we are going to want our roundabout. At the end of this road here, we're going to want our roundabout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from that node there, and I am going to take this road out along down here. So I reckon we're going to have our airport in this kind of area here. Also, I think we should have some hotels around here right next to the airport, some tourist attractions and some other bits and pieces like that, just to really give the idea that we want people to move in here. This is going to be a big tourist area. I think that'll be a really good idea. So let's bring those in just like that, and you know, I'll also bring a road up here just to continue that up. Can we grab that corner? Yes, we can. There we go. So they are all coming off of... Oof, we got some dodginess going on there. So I'll do a bit of the movement mod action, and let's get a roundabout in place just down here. So what we've done is we put a roundabout in place. We've set up that roundabout with junctions, and we have also laid out some of the roads we're going to be using in this area. Now I'd like to fit the airport in here, which apparently doesn't fit just there. So you know what, let's remove that little bit there. Can we squeeze the airport in then? I don't know, is that going to work? Oh, slope too steep. So what we are now going to do is we are just going to flatten all of this terrain here. As you can see, yeah, there is a bit of a hill just there. So what we're just going to do is lower down all of this terrain, and hopefully this will then fit in. The terrain has been flattened, and I think the airport should be able to fit in this area. As you can see, it's really, really flat. Obviously, that makes sense for an airport. I mean, you wouldn't want an airport on a cliff, would you? And there we go. So where are we going to fit this in? So we don't want it too close to the road. I'd say that there looks pretty good. there we go. So that is our airport in place. So they're going to take off in that direction there. So they'll take off that way off over our city and they'll land in this direction here. So the first thing that we are going to need to do is actually prepare this area. So firstly, obviously, we need water. So I reckon, where's our closest pipe? Our closest pipe is around there. Let's see, can we get around that corner? There we go. And we're just going to bring that in. And I'm also going to do the same. I'm just going to cover this entire area with water. So when we construct more buildings in this area, they will obviously get their supply instantly. Okay, so some pylons have been put in place, which we should hopefully see. Yes, that is the grid connected. They have electricity and water now at the airport. There we go. Its needs are being met. And hopefully at some point soon we shall see the some planes landing, which should be pretty exciting. I am looking forward to that. But meanwhile, I reckon the first things that we need to do is we need to prepare this area. So there are obviously going to be a lot of vehicles in this area. So I reckon that actually, I think this should be a one-way system. A one-way system, so you come up that way and down that way like that. I think that would make a lot of sense. Yeah, let's give that a go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it up that way, down that way, and in the middle we're going to have things like parking lots, we're going to have some shops, and just the basics that you need when you come out of an airport, so so people will come more likely to visit our area. So let's give that a go. I will prepare this area and I will do just that. There's a car driving towards the airport. I want to see where he goes. Right. Okay, he just vanished. Well, that's cool. Anyways, what I've done is I've changed the road to a 4-lane one-way road. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a road. I quite liked the look of this road here with the median in between, but unfortunately, there wasn't a one-way version of that. So unfortunately, we just having to go with this 4-lane one-way. It's a fairly thin road, but that is all right. Now, yeah, these guys are just vanishing when they get to here. I wonder if there's any issue going on. Maybe they are just going to the airport and they just vanish when they get to the airport. So who knows about that? They might be waiting for a plane. But I reckon what we now need to do is add in this parking lot. So we're going to head to this tab here. And I think what we'll do is, let's grab that tool there. We are going to take this coming straight out of this area here. And can I connect to that road, please? No, I can't. Let's see if we can. Let's do it a bit further down. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out a parking lot just along here. So I'm going to bring it out probably the entire way up there. It's going to be one of our biggest parking lots we have got. So yeah, this one here, I reckon. So we'll go from about there-ish. And I reckon we'll bring this sort of the length of the airport. Now, if this does fill up... Oh, you know what? Should we bring that up a bit more? I'm liking the look of this. Yes. Yeah, so if we have two parking lots side by side, I reckon that'll give a really nice aesthetic to this. And then we'll add some footpaths in over to the airport. I think that is going to look very, very good. The first plane has just spawned in. How many people are on the plane? 12 out of the possible 200 people that could be on the plane, but they are leaving the city. Is that a good thing? But I don't care. This is our airport, fully up and running. Let's watch our first takeoff of the plane. Here it goes. Here it goes. I'm gonna get back a bit. There we go. And he's off. Wow, that is one steep turn he's trying to make there. Let's see where he's off to. It's flying over the city. There we go. He's making some weird turns. I don't know where he's off to. He's offering a spiral upwards. But there we go. That is the first plane of the city out and about. And if we come down to the car park, you will see that we have one car park down here. This is primarily just for... And the cars will not use this road. They only decide to use this grassland here. So I might try and see if there's something I can put in their way just to stop them using that. And you've got your suitcase. You seem to be off and away. But as you'll see, we've set up two car parks. We got one for disabled parking and one for electric cars as well down here. So we got this sort of double car park action, which looks pretty cool. We have also added this path along the side here, which then goes up over the top and down the other side. We are preventing them from crossing here, as I'm expecting the traffic along this road to be busy, and we don't want pedestrians getting in the way of that. Next up, I would like to add the metro. So the metro, again, is going to be another one of these things that we want quick access to. We need to allow our people to be able to get from here to here, and then the metro will take them over, probably to a changeover point, maybe down here somewhere. So that is going to allow them to get onto our metro network, which is just giving more and more options to the passengers, which is going to be pretty cool. So that is the next plan. What we're going to do is we are going to decide where this tunnel here is going to go to. So I'm saying this is going to take it all the way over here. Now we're going to work out where the changeover point is going to be. Now I reckon if we move this building here up here, and then we have it the other side of the road to this metro station here. Then we'll build a staircase over the top, and they will be able to move around. So let's move that up just to about there-ish, and then let's go onto the metro, and let's grab a metro station. We're going to put that identically upwards to that, and then we're going to grab our train lines just like this. Let's put it onto curve like that, and we're going to come the whole way down there, and we're going to stop down here. There we go. So this is going to allow people to get to the airport or away from the airport however they wish. So we're going to click on there, we'll set up this line just like that, so we'll stop there and then make the return stop just like that. There we go, that's another line set up. I'm expecting this one here definitely to see a lot of use. Let's go over to the paths over here, and we're going to build a path coming from over the top round down to the other side. I have just set up the most amazing train line which is going around our city, and look at that, there's a plane landing. This is the first one I've seen landing. Let's take a look. He's coming in. How many has he got on board? 119 people all coming into our city. Now let's see how this area copes. It is raining at the moment, which isn't great. Now you'll see I've put loads of rocks down. The cars are still going through, but that just adds a little bit of detail into the area. But let's take a look at this. Let's see how many people come off and what routes they take. Do they come by car? Will they go by metro? And in the future, we're going to have obviously train and other kind of bits and pieces, which is quite exciting. So they have all dumped off, and we should see there's a massive influx of people just there. I'm guessing most of them are going to the metro, because if they're taking this bridge here, let's take a look. No one's really getting in cars. If we take a look, yeah, they're coming over the bridge. This is really cool. So I've also added a road maintenance depot there just to keep the area intact, as there's going to be a lot of vehicles and a lot of traffic. And yes, take a look at that. They're all going into the metro where we charge them and make loads of money off of them. Absolutely amazing. This is so cool. This is so cool. The car park is actually filling up quite a bit. The disabled parking and the electric parking also being used. This is looking very, very cool. And some are actually walking, I'm guessing, to go and get to their cars. Absolutely amazing. Now what we're going to do is we are going to set up our train line around the city. Now this city is just going to be one big loop. So we're going to start all the way up here, and this is where our intercity trains come in this metro monorail train hub. And what we're going to do is they're going to come along this rail down here. They're going to come and stop down here. They are then going to come and stop in this train station, and all we need to do is we just follow this train line down. They're going to cross the river all the way across, and they've got to stop over here. Then we've got some wiggling around, so we're going to add a stop there and just follow this train line along, and as you will see, we are just looping around the entirety of the city just like this. Now what I've done with the rails is, I've missed it again here, so we definitely need to do something here. We need a rail line. This is going to be a bit messy. It's probably going to go underground all the way over there. So let's give that a go. We're going to grab our rail coming out of there. Let's make this just a straight one, just like that. It's going to have to go down underground like that. And then that is going to come across and probably come up around here. So let's go up like that. There we go. And connect that up like there. So then we should be able to go back to our routes, and we can add more stops in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link up all of these all the way down to this one here and do the loop anti-clockwise, so we've got a loop going backwards and forwards, and then hopefully we should see some trains then using this route. Now we have our airport and we have our train station fully set up. We've got people using it. I've set up a couple of different lines off camera to get this place in use. And already take a look at that. We've got 56 people using this. And if we go to the public transport tab just over there, you will see that we have 925 people per week, or residents. We've got over 1,000 people using this train line per week, which is absolutely amazing. And we've got the same increasing on this blue line as well. That is really great to see. What I've done is I've increased the amount of vehicles just so we've got a good amount of coverage, but that is great to see. We're actually spreading out the amount of public transport that's being used. Again, our metro system, we've still got about 5,500 people using that one, which is absolutely amazing. But now what I'd like to do is I want to set up some bus lines. Now, I think we need to head to that tab there, obviously, and we need to set up our bus depot. So I'm going to set up our bus depot probably further down this road down here, because we don't really want them out of the way. So maybe, actually, we use some of these bus lanes here, and we set up this area from about onwards down here as bus-only areas. So we're going to grab that one down there. That is going to drag the whole way down to, I'd say, around about there-ish. And as you'll see, this is red. This means that only buses can go on these roads. And on down here, I would like to put Firstly, I want to put a bus depot. What? You can't attach a bus depot to these things? Seriously? Ah, right. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of tweaking around, but I'd like to get a bus depot in, and I want to set up a bus line, just a really short one, a shuttle bus coming from the train station to the airport. Now, the reason for that is you'll see that people have to make a fairly long trek from the train station over to there. So I want to be able to speed up that process, just have some few buses just going backwards and forwards in a loop, just going up and down here. I really think that will make quite the difference. So I've dropped in our bus depot there. I'm not going to worry about using the bus roads yet at the moment because currently, yeah, it just doesn't seem that viable to use. But we are going to create our first line. So this is going to come from right outside of the train station down here. And now I've just noticed that that's a metro station. So maybe we can actually link these in together. So that's something to keep an eye on. But then what I want is I want a stop right outside of the airport, just down there. And then we are just going to continue this background just to make one big loop, just like that. And hopefully in a second we'll see some buses jumping out of the bus depot down here. Hopefully we shall see some of them and they will start making that route viable. So people aren't going to have to make the super long trek from the train station to the airport. So hopefully let's see these guys in action. Let's see if anyone actually wants to get on this bus. Yeah, it may take a couple of seconds, and actually what we do need to do is we need to sort out the balancing for this. So let's head over to the line. There's going to be 5 vehicles on this line. It's a very short line, so we don't want that amount of vehicles. So I'm going to suggest let's put it down to 3 buses on this route. They will spread out over time, and what you shall see is eventually some of them will pop away, and these will spread out, and that should look really good. So hopefully there'll be a nice quick way for people to get backwards and forwards. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove those buses just there. So it's just this, those 3 there. I think that is going to work really well. Okay, so what I've decided to do is I want to name each bus line just so we know what is where, and then we can take a look at the amount of passengers and we can balance things out a lot more easier like that. So what I've called this one is I've just called this quite nice and simply the airport train shuttle. So that is just going backwards and forwards with those 2 stops, and hopefully soonish we should see some people using that, and hopefully that should mean they're not going to have to make this really long journey backwards and forwards. Now, the last thing I'd like to do in today's video would be just to focus on seeing if we can get some buildings to upgrade. Now, I reckon there are going to be some areas around here which just aren't upgrading any further. Now, as you will see, I have installed the Show It mod. Now, the Show It mod, as you will see, shows you everything you need to see. And we can see that there are certain things we need to work on. Anything in red is things that they need to use. And if we generally look, let's say around this area here, you'll see that healthcare, death care, things like that, they may have access to them, but they want them more closely. So let's give this a go. Let's put a healthcare station nearby. I'm going to put healthcare station. I'm going to put a medical clinic down there, and let's just take a look, see if this actually helps these buildings upgrade just that little bit. So let's look back at this one. Healthcare, that's already jumped up. Death care, it's at 20% now. Let's see. Let's put in what's small? Let's put in a crematorium. I'm going to put in our crematorium right down the back down here. I'm sorry, I might get rid of 1 or 2 buildings around here, but it is for the general well benefit of all of this. So let's take another look. Right, okay, so that will eventually jump up. I know there will be a bit of lag in between this, but you will see that this is actually going to help them increase and want to upgrade. They also want fire, so I'm basically going to go through all of the basics in certain areas and see if we can upgrade this entire place. And look, right just there, we already saw that little upgrade green arrow. That means that people want to are upgrading the houses. More people can move in to the city. So we don't necessarily have to build more houses. We just have to make them upgrade. That's the plan. Anyways, let's get to work on it. And already we can see that that is partially helping to upgrade this place. That is such an easy fix. And yeah, so we've definitely got a bit of work to do. What's that one there? Fire hazard, all those kind of bits and pieces. But we are going to work on this. And once that's done, I mean, look, we've got these buildings here already upgrading. Now, no one's going to want to live next to these water pumping stations, are they? I've got a feeling, yeah, look at that. We've got buildings upgrading. We've got more people moving into the city. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I think we need to move these water pumping stations. And I've got an idea of where I want to put them. Now, over here, we have a small area of land. Now, well, in the scheme of things, it's probably quite big. But in this area, I want to put all of the sewage pumping stations and all of the water facilities all in this big area down here. Now, to do this, I'm thinking, how are we going to get some road access down here? We're going to kind of need some slipway off of the motorway and also way back on. So we'll have to have a think about that. But what I'm thinking about using is, if we go to landscaping, we are going to make use of canals. Now we're going to put our canals, and we're going to put these on the side. So what I reckon is, we've also already got this sort of nice area down here, but I think we're just going to run one deep canal down this area here, just like that, and we shall see water will start falling in there and filling that up. So the plan is that we'll fill it with water, and on the side of this I want to put our water pumping stations, so it's going to be completely clear, not near anyone's houses, as no one is going to live in this area. So let's let that fill up. Meanwhile, we are going to come down here, and we are probably, let's pause the game, that would make the most sense. So we've got 4 there, 5 and 6, so we definitely need to replace exactly that amount. So let's get rid of all of these. This is going to make all these guys down here quite happy, so let's get rid of all of those, just like that. We are going to go to this tool here, and let's grab these water pumping stations. Now hopefully, oh, we actually do need to run the game to get these to work. But there we go. Now we're going to squeeze these on the side. So I'm gonna pop these down, 2 and 3, and let's just link them up to the water pipes just like this, so they start pumping back into the grid. That's also reminded me, we do need to provide them with electricity, so I think the best way to do that is, let's guinea pig off the side of these pylons down here. We're going to run an electricity pylon all the way down there, and that will link those up with the water supply. We then are going to want to put in some more, just to make sure we are using the same amount, and eventually we will probably be filling up this area even more. I think this will hopefully give a nice little aesthetic to this area. So let's link those up like that. Has the power connected? Yes, the power is all linking up just like that, and we hopefully will see down here, that will increase the land value. I mean, it's still not the best place to live. I mean, you're right on the side, you've got train lines going by on both sides, you've got a main busy road. It's not the nicest place, but as we can see, people are upgrading because of this. Brilliant. And just like that, we have this area completely done. So what I've done is I've moved all of our sewage pumping stations and water treatment plants over to this area. So these are now all set up in one area, and this will stay as our water area. So this will manage the entire city wherever we expand to. It's nice to keep everything in one place. And what I've done for the road access is we've just gone for these really small little lanes. We've got one lane coming in and we've got one lane going out, and there's no traffic, so I'm worried about doing too much traffic manager stuff. The only thing we have done is we've got a dedicated turning lane for off, as that keeps the traffic nice and happy. But other than that, that is looking pretty good. The water is being managed really, really well. That deep canal I think looks really good. We also have made sure the water speed coming in is very, very fast by using some slopes down here, and that has actually done an amazing job at doing that. So that is looking really, really good. But unfortunately, that is all the time I have for today's video. So if you have enjoyed, please leave a like, as it really does help out the channel a lot, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.